Sure, my name is Chris Crowley, CHRIS-CROWLEY, and
Chris,
I'm the CEO and founder at Table Mountain Innovation.
all right, Chris, so let's talk about what you are up to, and that is helping out in this really terrible time where we're all kind of, stuck at home, and that's why we're doing this over Zoom. But tell me about your company, and then let's talk about what you're doing. So first of all, what is Table Mountain Innovation, right? Did I say that right?
Correct. So since 2003, we've been an independent medical device design company. I'm a mechanical engineer by training. I've done my whole career in medical devices. That work took me into the operating room 500 times. I was an EMT for 6 years. So, I've seen the field side of it and the engineering side of medical device design. Currently, we have a product called Get Eversleep, which is home sleep apnea testing. And that product's been going very well, but as soon as the virus appeared, we saw all this need for PPE, and I decided to switch gears and make a face shield using a technology that nobody's used before in the face shield industry.
Yeah, obviously what's been going on is we have been severely underprepared for a pandemic, and probably the scariest thing that's happened is that our medical professionals, our frontline workers, are facing this incredible crisis without having the proper personal protection equipment. And so show me the face shield that you've designed and tell me about it.
Here we go. So this is it. The website is emergencyfaceshield.com.
Yep.
Very simple. It is one piece. I'm not sure it shows up on camera very well because
it does. You can see it pretty well. Yeah.
Clear. Good. Well, here's how it works. Ready? It's that easy. You know, we give coverage ear to ear and sort of chin to forehead. Also, I'll give you a little side view. We have room for an N95 mask and glasses. I can show you that in a minute. But most healthcare providers, it's very important to protect the N95 mask from being soiled, right? And I'm sure you've heard these stories that they're trying to clean these and reuse them. The face shield protects from patient mucus and other splatter, getting directly onto the mask. And once they're soiled, they're ruined. You can't reuse them. This is the standard garb that a healthcare provider is wearing, an N95 mask, often with a plastic exhalation valve, some sort of goggles or eye shields. And it was important to us to design the emergency face shield so that there's plenty of room. And you see that it sort of tilts forward. When the strap is horizontal, the face shield tilts forward, and that prevents fogging and gives the user plenty of room to look down, look sideways, and have the face shield stay well on the head.
Yeah, you just need a cuter model, Chris.
Unfortunately, I'm not quarantined with any supermodels.
So how did you come to the design of the face shield? What were the kind of criteria you used when you designed it?
That's an impossible question for me to answer. My mom said that by the time I was 4, I had disassembled 6 or 7 alarm clocks.
Okay.
So I've always been a mechanical engineer, and things like this literally appear in my head completely finished. So I know, for instance, that Apple and Ford were manufacturing kind of a more standard face shield, which is a die-cut flat piece of plastic, and then they staple an elastic strap to it, or they use 2 rivets, and then they stick a piece of foam on and a decal. It's 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 components. So Ford had 120 employees making face shields, and they could do one every 10 seconds. So using this vacuum form technology, I've got 1 employee, and we can make 1,000 an hour. I can make a face shield every 4 seconds. So
Wow.
I'm 250 times faster than Ford Motor Company at making face shields.
Well, Ford is good at making cars. I'm not sure
Yes.
that making face shields or ventilators is their cup of tea. So how did you pivot from making sleep apnea machines to making face shields? I mean, that's easily said, right? But finding the material, finding the manufacturer. Talk to me about
Yes.
that process.
So that was, I think that's part of the way, I said this sort of appeared fully formed in my head. We use a very similar process and a very similar material in our sleep apnea machine. So anyone who's ever done a home sleep test, there's a small finger sensor that shines a red light through your finger and measures blood oxygen. So it's the same material, the same process, and the same manufacturer right in Denver. So I drew this up in CAD, sent it over to those guys, and they said, yeah, we can do it. That company is Formtight in Denver. They've been a great partner to work with. We went from absolute napkin sketch to finished product in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, you said the guys worked over the weekend actually to get this done.
Correct. Yeah, the machinists volunteered. So the mold that makes this part is 1,100 pounds.
Ooh.
It is 3 feet by 4 feet and 6 inches thick of aluminum. And they offered to work over the weekend to get the mold done in time.
That's great to see local companies stepping up like that. Now, what's the next step? Now that you've got it, now that you've got the expanded production, how are you getting the word out there to hospitals or anybody, medical professionals who need it?
That's
Besides
a great
this.
question. That's a great question. I'm a real good engineer. I'm a terrible sales guy. So,
Okay.
but I will say today is Tuesday. So we started shipping last Friday, and we've got 3,600 shipped to local hospitals and the Flight for Life crews, both in Summit County and in Denver. Children's, a Vista, some research labs. We have a very great guy who has purchased a whole bunch of them to donate to local areas. So now we need to call every single assisted care facility, elder care facility, and we need to spread the word as best we can. That's the hard part actually for me.
Yeah, so let's talk about pricing. I have no clue how much these guys cost. So how much does a typical one cost and how much does that one cost?
Well, that's horrifying news and makes me really angry. So a typical face shield that's used in a medical clinical place, before the virus, they were selling about $4, $5, $6, some of them from China for $2 or $3. Now they're $90 a piece. So all of those companies are gouging, and they're forcing the poor clinicians to basically pay out of their pocket. Pay $90 to get one face shield. So we are $4.99 a piece, just $5, and that's sort of the average pre-virus pricing. All of those guys are sold out, and we're sitting on tons of inventory. We can ship immediately, and we can always make more.
So if somebody's watching this and they want a face shield for themselves, let's say that you're not a hospital, can you buy just one, or do you have to buy it in bulk?
Our smallest is a 30-pack.
Okay.
Shipping just one at a $5 cost ends up being $10 in shipping and boxes and packaging and stamps and processing. So we do sell a 30-pack.
And how much is a 30-pack? What are we looking at?
$150, 5 times 30. Yeah.
All right. And then let's talk about the people who can use these, right? I mean, I would suspect it would be, like you said, laboratories, hospitals, people doing maybe drive-up testing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Anybody who wants to have a little bit of protection and hopefully, have a little bit of distance between them and the virus and potential splatter that comes from that.
Yeah, and since the virus, there are a bunch of new sort of categories also. The police, right? I took some samples over to Jefferson County Sheriff, and they were extremely interested, both for use in the jail, because if the virus spreads in a contained environment like the jail, it's bad news. But also when they're out on the street talking to somebody that either needs help or needs to get arrested, they want a face shield. Workers at elder care facilities, especially clinicians, there's this dangerous task called intubation, which is shoving a hose down somebody's throat, and the clinician has to be right up against the patient's face to do that, and there's spit and sputum and mucus. So It's all the standard clinical channels, plus now all these new channels. Air Life, and Flight for Life are very interested also, even for the pilots.
Yeah, I have a friend who's a anesthesiologist, and actually that's what he does, right? He runs a
Yes.
ventilator, because I think a lot of people may not know this, but when you're on an intubator, you're not awake. You are
Correct.
you are under, for better or worse, actually. How about reuse? Can you reuse those? Are they washable, or is it a one-time use kind of deal? How do people use them?
Sure. The material is listed on our website. It's called PET, and the bottom line is it's Coke bottle, and it's extremely chemically resistant. So it's resistant to bleach, ammonia, these polyquats, which are used in the hospital. Basically, any disinfectant that's used in the hospital, this can be used. On the other hand, it's $5, right? And so maybe you use it for a shift, or use it for 2 or 3 shifts and wipe it down, and then throw it away and get a new one.
Okay, so you can reuse it, or you can throw it away depending on whatever your need is. And how about in terms of fit? I noticed that it's got a strap that seems to be able to be used for different sizes.
Sure. Again, I'm not sure how well it'll show up in video,
great.
but we have these little teeth, and you just click it to your head size. And oops, sorry, it's hard for me to see a little there. So that's a smaller head size, and we go all the way from small to XL, big giant basketball heads. So it should fit everybody.
So we did a story a couple of weeks ago about a local polishing company, Adams Polishes, that was selling. They switched from making car polishes to doing hand sanitizers, and when we put up that story, they sold out pretty quickly. What's your capability if this video gets pretty popular and people are actually passing it around? Do you have capability to meet demand? How many of those can you manufacture? How quickly?
I can make 12,000 a day.
Okay.
Which is
a lot.
Faster than Ford Motor Company and Apple combined.
Yep.
And this is for the mechanical engineers in your audience, this is a 2-cavity mold actually. And that machine will take a 4-cavity mold. So if we had enough demand, we would purchase another mold, and that puts us at 25,000 a day and $1 million a month.
Wow. Okay. And
once again, right in Denver.
If people want one, what's your website where they go to order it?
It's emergencyfaceshield.com. It says it right on the strap.
All right.
Emergencyfaceshield.com.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to share that with us. For all of you medical professionals out there, I know it's been a really rough time. And I love the fact that local companies like this are stepping up. That's why we're doing this video. People may be wondering, why is a car channel running a video about a face shield? But, we're a media company, and I'm an old journalist, so I like to kind of highlight companies that are out there helping out. It's kind of the spirit that makes me feel good about, living in this country.
Yes, well, I agree with you completely on several points, and thanks. Definitely, like you said, you're a car channel and you're taking time out to highlight local companies. I'm big on self-reliance, and if a state or local government can help somewhere, then I'll take that help. And if they can't, then I'm just going to do it myself.
That's the
American spirit.
And give us the website again. Hold it up one more time. There you go. There you go.
Emergencyfaceshield.com.